Wrestling with Savage begins now.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Wrestling with Savage. Tonight I'm here with Jay. We're going to be covering WWE BackLash, giving you the results. This is Wrestling with Savage. BackLash was coming at you live from the Dunkin' Donuts Center in Providence, Rhode Island. And I had a good time tonight watching BackLash, much better than I expected. Overall, it opens up. They're talking about a new dimension of change, paving the way for an alternate future, which I was into the opening because hopefully it's going to help change WWE into a more attitude-like kind of era. They definitely have the roster to make those kind of changes. So I thought it was a very good video package to open the show. And they did also a great job editing the video package for the opening match, which also surprised me because that's going to set the bar high when you have Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins coming to the ring. Jay, were you surprised that this was the first match of the night?
No, all my sources told me that it was going to be the first match of the night. I knew hours ago.
Yeah, you were my source that broke the news to me, told me it was going to be opening match of the night, and then quickly you see all the internet reacting to it.
They told me. They were hitting me up. Everybody was hitting me up on Mother's Day. Out of all days, they were hitting me up. They said, Cody's going to start the match. I had to run back and see it. Because I'm going to critique it.
Of course, that's going to be the match we probably critique almost the most. It's probably going to be the second most critiqued match of the night. Because tonight we had a classic match, and if you missed it, it's one of those matches you're going to have to go back and see because people are going to be talking about this match probably for the next 2 to 3 decades. It was that kind of a match. We'll get into that match later. First, we have... Oh, and by the way, thanks for mentioning Mother's Day, Jay. Happy Mother's Day to all your mothers out there and all the special ladies in your life. So, yeah, I guess this is Wrestling with Savage, the Mother's Day edition, at least for the next 35 minutes, which is probably all we're going to need to wrap up this pay-per-view because there was only 6 matches, which isn't a big card. And we started off the night with Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins, and the match started off really good. There was a great bump right away on the outside that set everything up. There was a really nice setup, great spots setting up the disaster kick. The cameraman was doing great work. They were making sure they got all the shots from the right side to make all the moves look that much more impacting. There was a lot of moves that I couldn't catch to see if they actually had full contact, but like I said, the cameraman did his job and made it look as good as possible. Cody took a really tough landing on the shoulder, and then Seth Rollins followed up with some outside the ring offense to take control of the match. Also had a great spot where he threw him into the barricade. Cody made that bump look really good. There was a great series exchanged, nice chops, lots of hits, lots of intensity, all leading to a big Cody cutter, and then a well-deserved pause after a high series sequence, non-stop action. Serious high-risk spots. Cody was taking some moves tonight that he didn't need to be going for, and I think he actually maybe needs to calm down with all these high-risk spots because he's got a long road ahead of him. And, I think he should reserve the high spots for the big shows, like the actual WrestleManias and, the SummerSlams, the Survivor Series, maybe even Money in the Bank. I don't know. I feel like he's going for a lot early, and it's nice to see. He's definitely, I feel, better now than he was in AEW. He looks like he's in better shape. And tonight, I didn't notice any real mistakes in tonight's match as compared to their first meetup at WrestleMania. Crowd was even chanting, "This is awesome." There was nice methodical wrestling, very reminiscent of Attitude Era matches when they were going shot for shot like The Rock and Stone Cold used to do. Very, very reminiscent of Attitude Era matches. Watching men who were once rookies and now they're like living legends is very incomparable to watching some of these other matches. Because unlike a lot of the other talent, I have been watching these two men do their thing for a very long time. And to see them at this stage of their career having these kind of matches is very nice. Cody was going for a pedigree. Seth countered it into a Falcon Arrow. So far, it's been better than the Mania match at this point of the match when I'm watching it. There was a nice setup for a buckle bump. And then, Jay, did you see that 5-star frog splash, man? Wasn't that a thing?
Yes.
Oh,
yes, I did.
That thing was beautiful. Real quick, Cody was selling pretty good. There was smooth, high-level agility displayed by Seth freaking Rollins into the superplex that turned into the Falcon Arrow that was countered into a crossroads and a kick out. After that, we had some nice elevation into a moonsault that led to a pedigree by Rollins and another kick out by Rhodes. Seth was working the crowd, getting the heat with the Kawada kicks. Seth with the ultimate disrespect using Cody's father's moves, leading into a perfectly executed sequence of finish attempts, finish counters, reverses, and finally a big win for Cody Rhodes with a roll-up pin. Seth held the bar high tonight, man, and Cody countered everything. Seth was trying to cheat to get the win, and then Cody just ended up reversing it and doing the same thing, returning the favor, pulling the tights. He said, "You want to do that to me? I can do that to you too." I gave it a 5-star match because they didn't make any mistakes tonight. And it was actually better spots than the WrestleMania match. The match ended with Seth being furious at the official and Cody being very pumped up, man. What was your take on the match? Do you think it was better than the Mania match?
Well, first of all my predictions came true tonight, and this was one of them. I knew Cody was going to go over. It made no sense to bury Cody, especially coming back at the position that he was before. Now, going into the match, to me, this is no 5-star match. I saw something too differently and some tastes that I didn't like. So when I first saw the match, I didn't understand the attire by Seth freaking Rollins. I didn't understand the fishnet attire. I didn't know what that was about. Kind of freaked me out. I don't know what the hell I was watching the first 5 minutes. Then Cody came out, big pop, as always, big baby face. But then all of a sudden we had the first roll-up. Now I wrote here, Rollins was waiting for the roll-up. Cody was trying to go for the roll-up from the turnbuckle, but unfortunately Rollins was just waiting there, so he was just a tad late. Right there's a mistake right there, number one. The nice knee to send Cody to the floor. It was a nice clothesline on the outside by Rollins. It was a nice long-standing face for a suplex, followed by the disaster kick by Cody. That was a great spot, too. There was some nice spots that you mentioned as well. The pedigree, the 5-star that Rollins did. There was some nice spots going on, Rollins went for the Phoenix Splash. Cody got in the super kick. That was a good spot, too. They didn't go too crazy in this match, as you could tell. Which made the Mania match one of a kind to me, in my opinion, to answer your question. This match didn't live up to that, in my opinion. I thought it was a little lackluster at first. I really thought I was going to see a wrestling-style match for the first 5 to 10 minutes. I would say 10 minutes because this was a time killer. This was one of the matches that was a time killer. Unfortunately, I didn't see that. I just saw a lot of spots, as you mentioned, and what I mentioned before you. To me, it's cool and everything. No offense, both guys did a great job. Not hating the match. I don't think it was a 5-star. I'm going to give it a 4 on this one.
A 4 is a really good high grade. To mention what you said about Seth Rollins' attire. Wasn't that the same attire that he wore at WrestleMania?
I don't know, but I'm
pretty sure they both came out wearing the same exact attire.
I'll tell you what. I was watching it with my wife, and she said, "What is that, fishnets?" And she don't even watch this. So
yeah,
for her to say that,
my wife has some pretty good one-liners
really
too.
Bad.
Yeah, she's like that too. If she catches it, she'll always have something to say about somebody real quick. So tonight it was
my wife says that
talking about the fish nets. I don't know. I had fun with the match. I thought they did a better job than Mania because in Mania there was a botch. Tonight there was no botch, and honestly, it was a good build-up, and it was a time killer, like you said. It wasn't like a 10-minute match. So they were working the crowd. They were working the match. Cody was selling, and Cody took some real high-risk spots tonight. When he landed, did you see that one spot where he jumped off the top rope and landed on his knees?
Right.
On the outside?
But we've seen that in
No,
other promotions. It's
absolutely,
nothing
absolutely.
new.
It's
It's
nothing
nothing new
new.
to me.
In my opinion, I think he was actually going for too many high risk spots, just for the fact that I want him to avoid injury. I'm not saying for him to not do a couple of the high risk things during the match, but do like one or two. Don't do like five crazy out the ring. I want to see you have a good run here, man. You can't
I
get
don't.
put on the
I
shelf
don't
right now.
think. I don't really think there was nothing crazy. Like I think that like everybody else, the first 10, 15 minutes, nobody was really into it. I expected a wrestling match for the first at least 10 minutes, not 15. Okay, but it just never happened. It just led to a lot of taunting in the beginning, and it just never there. It was just more about spots. I felt like this match was more about spots compared to Mania was more about wrestling. So that's why nothing can top
Well,
it.
no,
That's
this
why I
match
always. That's
absolutely was
why
about
I said
spots.
in the last episode I told you I said it's not about spots, it's about the wrestling, and
Yeah, but these
this
guys
match
were
didn't
wrestling.
deliver on them.
They had the sequences. They had the move
It was
sets.
just
The
spots.
5-star frog splash was beautiful. I love that he
Mm.
landed it. Cody took a nice bump, front bump moonsault. Seth avoided it. There was nice sequences in this match that were better than Mania. If you go back and
That
really look at
doesn't
the match, you'll see it. You got to look at
That
it again,
doesn't
man.
mean that this is a wrestling match. To me, it's not. It's just a bunch of spots. That's what it is.
But
I
every
mean,
match
I
is a
get
bunch
it.
of
I
spots.
get it. I
I
get
liked it.
it,
I
but
liked it.
that's what it is in my opinion.
Either way, you
It's just
gave
a
it a
bunch of
four
spots.
star, which is higher than you usually give, a 4-star match. So it had to be a
That's
good
four.
match. You gave it a 4. It had to be. It's a good match, right? It
Well, the
got you.
spots never miss. So
It was a good way to start off the night because we were surprised by it. We didn't know that. We thought that was going to be like the second to main event match, something like that. We did not think it was going to be the opening match. So when I found out that that was the opening match, got me actually excited about the show because I thought maybe we're going to open up to Madcap or Omos, and you know what I mean. Like I wouldn't give a shit about that right away. But we opened up to Seth and Cody. In my opinion, they put on a banger, 5-star. Jose J over here saying only 4-star. But either way, it's a good match. After that, we had the next match, which whatever. What are you gonna do? They have to have the match, right? Bobby Lashley versus Omos. In this match, we had honestly a little surprising. I think this one was better than the WrestleMania match. Omos looks like he's actually improved a little bit. Nothing crazy. He's still very green, but he actually was putting on some nice shots in this match. It was hard. It's very hard to not make it look real when you're as big as these two guys. But it's real crazy looking at how small Bobby Lashley looks compared to Omos. Omos is really fucking big. MVP's work outside the ring is essential to the success of Omos. There was also great camera work to set up MVP interfering on the apron. Like the way they did the camera, it made it like a surprise that he was up there. So that was a nice setup. Huge spine buster by Omos, which was probably his best looking move of the night. MVP hit Bobby with a cane. Again, being the X factor and the reason why Omos was able to pick up the win. Believe it was a choke slam to Bobby Lashley. Like I said, the match was better than I thought it would be. Omos is still very green, but he's definitely improved since Mania. MVP was very entertaining in this match, and it made it watchable. Nothing special, but good work from MVP. I didn't appreciate Bobby taking the loss, but only way to keep the storyline going, I guess. So I give it a 2-star for it being better than what I thought it was going to be. How about you, Jay? What are you thinking about this match? You probably went to the bathroom, got some snacks.
no, it's just basically what I said. His career is over. We all saw it tonight. I'm not gonna rate it because it was just a horrible match. I saw something entirely different than you. I saw a guy that was doing all his offense on a turnbuckle, while literally Bobby Lashley was just laying on a turnbuckle. All his offensive moves were on a turnbuckle. Running elbow to Bobby Lashley while Lashley's on the turnbuckle. Running clothesline to Lashley while he was on the turnbuckle. He'll run and try to go for a clothesline. He'll miss. Everything was just on the turnbuckle. I didn't see nothing new. I saw horrible footwork. it's not about being green. This guy's been on TV for over a year now. That's no excuse to me. It was just horrible. I know that in a few weeks there's going to be a couple releases coming up. I think he's going to definitely be on the top of the list. I don't rate this match at all. I think it was just horrible. I think MVP was trying to save it by doing a little shenanigans, but not even Lashley could have saved this match. It was just bad overall. Hopefully this is the end of it and Lashley can move on. No rating from me on this one.
No rating for you at all on this one. Okay, I don't blame you. I'm not a big fan of this storyline, and I'd actually like to see it come to an end. But the only way that's going to happen is if probably, like you said, Omos gets released. But I don't know. I think they like him because of his size, and they're going to probably keep him as long as Vince has a pulse. I don't know. Let's see what happens. They got rid of Braun Strowman, which I never thought they would do that. So, yeah, I don't think anybody's safe when it comes to keeping your job in the WWE. That's for sure. Did you also notice tonight that Pat McAfee messed up twice on the announce table? Once calling out the Fiend in the audience, and then a second time calling Happy Corbin Baron Corbin, and Michael Cole had to remind him, hey, his name's Happy. Like, hey, you can't say Baron. Do you think that was a mistake?
I did notice that. I thought the Fiend one was classic. I thought that was pretty funny. So I like that one. The Baron Corbin, I thought it was just proving my point about changing his character, but obviously that wasn't the case. He just messed up.
Well, anyway, after that match, we got right into AJ Styles versus Edge. Before the match started, they announced Hell in a Cell for June 5th, and there was also a promo from the Usos and Paul Heyman. Nothing special. Same of more. That match with AJ Styles versus Edge, I'm going to get right into it. Actually, Jay, I'm going to let you take first crack on this one. I gave it a 4-star. I'll get into why after. But you tell me, what was your take on Edge versus AJ Styles? Did you think it lived up to the hype? Were you happy with what happened? And let us all know what happened, please. Because I know you called it. You were hoping for it, at least.
Oh, like I said, this is what's second in my predictions that came true. So basically, it starts off both men exchanging shots. Great. AJ got the best of it. Styles did that Edge face first on the announcer table, so that was pretty cool. He was just knocking him a few times. Styles did a nice drop kick between the bottom and middle turnbuckle. Nice spot as well. Styles slide through to the stairs instead of the ring post. I thought that was a little bit of a botch. I don't know if you catch that, but he somehow, instead of sliding to the ring post, he just slided and he just hit the stairs. So I don't think that was planned. I think he just slided a little too fast and just lost control. So it was another nice move. Edge working most on the left shoulder as expected to get that crossface later on throughout the match. We kind of expected that. Styles had a nice face first slam. That was pretty cool too. Styles did a nice Hoshi-Karoshi suplex on Edge. That was also a good spot. He also put Edge, bounced him from the turnbuckle all the way. No, not the turnbuckle. I'm sorry. Bounced him to the rope and then grabbed him into the Styles Clash and then hit him for a 2 spot. That was a good spot. Everybody was on their feet. It was very enjoyable. Both men did a great job. I knew it was going to be some sort of interference. I didn't like the part when Damian Priest and Finn Balor came out. I thought it kind of killed it for me a little bit. I would have been more better with the masked person coming out instead. Too many people, I believe, in my opinion. Overall, this match was okay. It wasn't bad. I'm going to give it a 3. But I do like the end result. Which we find out the masked person is Rhea Ripley, as I predicted. I said Rhea Ripley or Tommaso Ciampa, but obviously we all noticed when that masked person came out, that's no Tommaso Ciampa. So, and I kind of knew when the arm drag was down as they crashed Styles, so you could just tell that was a female arm. I don't know if anybody caught that, but
I could tell overall, from her pants, man, from her legs.
Right. Exactly.
100%.
So it was pretty obvious. So it worked out the way I thought it would work out. Just need one more prediction to come through to the storyline. But I like where it's going. I like Rhea Ripley. I like the ending. Wasn't a bad match at all. I'm going to give it a 3 on this one.
All right, cool. I'm happy that you liked the match and that you were happy with the ending. I gave it a 4-star because I thought it started off fast, hellacious start with tons of melee action. I love that Edge came out with the Undertaker-like tights, purple, black. There was hands reaching from the depths of hell. There was a lot of little hidden messages there. There was a big moonsault to the outside, a lot of technical wrestling by Edge, big time impact to the head with a Pele kick from AJ Styles to Edge. You really have to appreciate the intensity of both men in this match. Both of these guys are legends, and they're still going at it at like the highest level possible. Anyone wanting to learn how to wrestle should really pay attention to Edge's expressions when he sells, the looks on his face, the look he makes with his eyes. Edge is incredible to watch work. He's such a great worker, seller. So is AJ, but Edge right now I think is competing at the best I've ever seen him as far as like his selling. He's really believable. He makes everything look believable. There was a great over-the-shoulder neck breaker, and like I said, take a look at how he sells that after, man. There was the over-the-shoulder neck breaker was a great sell the way he sold that. Great spot with the German suplex to Edge, taking the turnbuckle with him. AJ kicked out of a fierce spear. AJ, showing that he still, was in the fight. Edge then kicked out of the Styles Clash, which was great. Damian Priest then came out. Finn Balor comes out. And I have a prediction to make after this. But, of course, the masked person ended up being Rhea Ripley like we both knew it would be. So it's nice to see that story unfolding. But I think there's a bigger story here in play. And I think a few episodes ago I mentioned, what if he wanted Finn Balor too? And there's got to be a reason Finn Balor keeps coming out here. What if, long story short, this ends up being a 5-man posse with Edge, Damian, Rhea, AJ, and Finn Balor? Would you be happy with that? Would you be okay with that?
No, I just think AJ's gonna go his way, maybe team up with Finn. They both got nothing else to do after this. It's just more about building Rhea Ripley, Damian Priest at this point. Edge is going to need a new foe. At this point, I can't even think of one person, to be honest, to be feuding at a high level with Edge. So it's really hard to even think of a person that could be on that same level and make a storyline as interesting moving forward. So we'll see where it goes.
I mean, I definitely can see them pushing Rhea to go for that women's championship on Raw and start a big rivalry between her and Bianca, which actually I'm all for. I'd love to see that matchup more because they're such formidable superstars. So we'll see where the storyline goes. I'm happy to see it. I'm always happy to see Edge work. And so far, I'm happy with the story being told. So we'll see more out of it down the road. After that, we got a video segment with Bianca Belair, which is kind of interesting that I just mentioned. That's where I think it's going anyway. And she's talking about, where she came from, how she grew up, all this stuff, going to high school for the kids, putting on a show. After that, we were very lucky tonight. I don't think Jay realizes how lucky we were tonight. And if you missed this match, this is one of those matches where I'm recommending you go back and watch immediately, as soon as you can. Because tonight I was honored to witness, in my opinion, the greatest professional wrestling match ever put on by two women in a wrestling ring, in an arena, in a building, in a stadium. Because these two women tonight put on such a classic in every aspect of the word. They took it all over the arena. They made it look believable. They made it look real. The element of the microphone being there, hearing Ronda scream, hearing Flair scream, hearing them curse at each other. Oh, this bitch, that bitch. Oh, I'm glad you said that, bitch. I'm going to break your arm, bitch. I mean, the ruthlessness I saw when she was trying to rip her arm with that arm breaker off the ring post alone, just that alone in the corner. I got so many notes about this match, man. Let me get into it, and then, Jay, you can break it down after and tell me if I missed anything, which I probably did because there was so much. The video package sets up the match. The package is watchable compared to all the segments within the last few weeks. Package looks good compared to what we've actually seen. The story build up to this match was shit, but the actual match made up for everything. As I always mention, Ronda's excellent in the ring. The match opens up with 3 arm tosses in a row. Nice counter by Ronda that leads into a nasty German suplex by Flair to Ronda. And when I say nasty, I mean nasty. Vicious snap German suplex. Hell of a bump by Ronda. Excellent running knee by Ronda that I noticed. Honestly, great work by both ladies. And Ronda showing a lot in this match up to this point. Really aggressive, impressive moves that help Flair elevate her game to another level. Ronda was working with the crowd, grabbing the mic, leading to a huge boot to the face by Flair. A really good boot that Ronda really stepped into and really let the connection happen. You could hear it, you could see it, you could feel it. The shots hit harder, they felt harder, they looked authentic, and it made Charlotte elevate on another level because she's not in the ring with some Joe Schmo. She's in the ring with a former UFC Women's Heavyweight Champion of the world. She's going blow to blow. I can't even explain to you what this is doing to the psyche of the fans that are out there. All the young fans, all the young boys and girls who are watching the product today, they're going to be shaped. They're going to be shaped and forged by matches like this going forward. This match will live the test of time. It was a badass match. It took it back to the Attitude Era. I loved the all over the arena. It was great, man. You got to see fighting everywhere. Submissions all over the place. There was a submission on the steel rail guard. They used steel chairs. Charlotte was running around like a maniac. It looked like a video game at one point, the way she was running around and switching it up, going to the top of the arena, to the top of the stairs, next to the fans. It was awesome, bro. And one of the best moves of the night was, a huge powerbomb off the barricade. That shit looked raw as fuck. Flair was slapping. Ronda was slapping. You see the stars now, bitch, Ronda says, continuing to kick the shit out of Flair. Flair counters and drives Ronda into the ring post. As Pat McAfee says, it's an honor to watch these 2 badass women go, and I couldn't agree with them more. Flair was going for it all on the top rope. Ronda comes up and gets Flair caught in the ropes and hits the nasty arm bar. Flair yelling into the mic, screaming no, while Ronda gets the full extension. Fans still chanting that they want tables. This pissed me off tonight. I thought this was the only thing that put a dampen on the match. The dumb fans wouldn't stop chanting, we want a table, we want tables. Shut up about the tables and enjoy the classic you're even witnessing. I guess Rhode Island, you guys you don't appreciate greatness when you see it, you stupid idiots. You're all on my list. Shut up with the tables. Enjoy the match. Jesus Christ. Maybe no 2 women in the world, and listen to me when I make this statement, Jay, because I'm about to pass it to you in a minute. There's maybe absolutely, without a doubt in my mind, no 2 women in the world at the moment that could put on a better match than what we just saw tonight. They put on a fucking banger. Chairs to the hip, chairs to the spine by Flair to Ronda. Figure 8 by Flair. Ronda didn't quit. McAfee, for some reason, mentioned The Fiend. For a second, I was like, what's going to happen? The Fiend's going to come out and kill Ronda? I didn't know. It was exciting. Huge submission with a chair, tangling up the arm. I was hoping you would say that you wouldn't quit, and then she just started twisting and yanking, and she actually broke Charlotte Flair's arm tonight. She actually broke Charlotte Flair's arm tonight. I don't know if the arm's really broke, but they're selling it. I guess Charlotte's taking a vacation with Andrade. The question is, where are they going, Jay? Are they going somewhere tropical? I gave the match a 5-star. Flair quit, and Ronda Rousey becomes your new WWE Women's SmackDown Champion. Jay, it's all you.
Well, I don't think this was a great wrestling match. I think it was a great entertaining match. I didn't really see wrestling in here.
I did.
I saw something entirely different.
No.
There was some good spots. Flair did a nice, you mentioned some of them. There was also, Flair did a nice big boot on Ronda by the timekeeper table. There was a part that Flair ran into Ronda's knee when she was doing knee to the guts, kind of just ran in and turned her face and just kind of hit the bridge of her nose. If anybody really caught that, if they didn't, just rewind it again. That kind of hurt her for at least about, like, let's say 30 seconds of the match. It was just a bunch of entertaining spots. I don't give wrestling matches jump starts from outside, especially when you're going through the crowds with fans and doing ridiculous choke holds. Expecting me to believe that you're gonna quit while you have somebody's head through a ramp, barricade, I guess, whatever, staircase. I'm not gonna believe that, especially when you're fighting through the crowd. That's no wrestling match. A lot of jump starting in this match, but overall, it's an entertaining match overall. I liked it. I was entertained. It was better than expected. It's what Ronda needed. I predicted this as well. I said it makes no sense. If you're going to bury Ronda and make her lose this match, then who are you really going to put her against with? You can't put her with the top player in the whole game and then have her face Sonya Deville next week. It makes no sense. It devalues money, it devalues box office, it devalues putting seats, it devalues selling merch. I predicted this all along. I just didn't think it was going to be an entertaining match. I was very entertained with the spots you mentioned and what I mentioned. I'm going to give it a 3.5.
I don't know if I can let you get away with that one. So you don't think this was an instant classic?
No.
I'm sad to hear you say that because this match really reminded me of your favorite era when your boy The Rock took on Mick Foley, Mankind, whatever you want to call him, in an I Quit match, you know? And that match was a classic. And yes, it's not a traditional wrestling match, but it's still a match that's booked in a professional wrestling company. So at the end of the day, it's still a match. And a match's purpose, at least in today's day of world, in Vince McMahon's mind, it's supposed to do two things. Entertain you and make you want more. You were entertained, and I'm sure you wouldn't mind seeing another match between these two down the road. Yes or no?
Absolutely not. No, I do not want to see Ronda Rousey ever again. I can't believe she's even champion. I do not even like the outcome of this match. I think she's one of the worst.
So even this
period.
match, even this performance by Ronda Rousey didn't want, like, you don't. How she did good. I don't like to see her on the mic, but
I don't think she can wrestle, and the only way she can wrestle is these type of silly matches. It's true. It's facts. There is nothing that she ever did legally one-on-one straight up.
I'm not gonna argue with you on the fact that she can't put up a traditional wrestling match like better than anyone, like better than Flair or anything like that. But for tonight's match, for what its purpose was, which was an I Quit match, I feel like we witnessed a fucking classic. I really do. I think she put up a banger of a performance. Better than, like you said, better than you expected it to be. For me, it was far superior than what I expected it. And I had a feeling. I called it. You did call that Ronda was going to win this, which I didn't believe. I said, there's no way Charlotte Flair is going to lose right now. But then I started to think about it. I was like, yeah, there's a chance, actually, because, you know, maybe she'll take some time off. She'll come back. They want to make her like a 20-time champion anyway. So, but yeah, Ronda I thought she was convincing tonight, man. I thought she won in convincing fashion.
I think she just needs to not be champion because now we're just.
So who are you booking?
Gonna see nothing
Besides Flair, because let's say Flair's on the shelf now for a while. Who are you booking to take down Rousey first?
I can't even think of one single SmackDown superstar because they all not even on Flair's level. I mean, I can't even think of Sasha Banks. She's now in a tag team storyline, and she gives horrible botches. I can't even think of one person on that roster, to be honest.
The problem is they don't have. There's only one person to me that's believable and capable of beating Ronda Rousey if Charlotte's off the list, and that person's name is Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler is involved in a tag team storyline. She's about to win the tag team titles. So the one woman that you can actually have a hell of imagine an I Quit match between those two, that would probably be, you know, similar to what we saw tonight. Because Shayna can go. To me, Shayna's way better than Ronda in every way. In the ring, on the mic, I feel like Shayna's better. I don't know. No?
Not after that botch. No.
I blame that more on Sasha, but, you know, that's okay. I still think Shayna can go.
Takes two to tango.
We'll see who Ronda's going to have to compete with now. Maybe we're going to get some new talent up there. Maybe Miss Nikita Lyons can come up from NXT. Maybe Mandy Rose can take down Ronda.
You already saw Mandy Rose already. I don't want to. It's all right. Stay down there.
Come on.
Stay down there.
Anyway, after that 5-star match, we had an announcement with Cody Rhodes announcing Money in the Bank coming from Las Vegas Live July 2nd. He winked at us. You know, is that an indication? Are you calling it from right now, the Cody Rhodes? I'm calling it. I think he's Mr. Money in the Bank. What do you think?
I'm going to say no.
Okay. We'll still have to wait and see, man. It's coming up. After that, we got into a match with Madcap Moss versus Happy Corbin. Started off with Wrestling 101, lockups, hip tosses, some basics. Quickly escalated into a brawl. Corbin made great innovative use of the barricade to unleash a barrage of shots. You could see Corbin changing a little bit during the course of the match, becoming a little more sinister with each passing second. Had tougher shots. He was hitting his chest, trying to hit him in submissions. Nice running senton from Corbin, which I don't think we've seen that in years. Madcap took back control of the match with his explosive speed and power. The intensity picked up a little bit. There was a big fall-away slam that looked good. There was a deep 6 that led to a kick-out. McAfee was calling Baron... what do you say? McAfee said Baron Cole reminds him that it's... Oh, yeah, I fucked this up. We talked about it already. We mentioned it. McAfee basically called Happy Corbin Baron Corbin, and then Michael Cole had to remind him, hey, man, his name's Happy Corbin. So pretty sure McAfee fucked up the way I just fucked up right now live, because that's what happens when you're live. Honestly, there was nothing special about this match. Moss picked up the win with a quick sunset flip, posing with his thumbs up with the fans, and this led us to seeing Corbin leaving even more upset. But this could be a good thing that he's more upset. Maybe this is going to set him up for a big heel push or something. I don't know. 2-star, nothing better. It was better than I expected, but only a 2. Nothing, whatever. It was a match. Jay?
Half a star. Nothing here. I just can't believe this match took longer than 10 minutes.
I'm giving him a 2 just because they got in the ring and we had a pinfall victory and it ended pretty quickly. So I was happy that they didn't eat up too much time with this stupid storyline. And honestly, I'm sick of those stupid suspenders. They need to do something with Madcap, man. He's impressive, though.
Yeah, he's impressive. He's going to be on that list when they release a 3 stars coming up in a few weeks.
Maybe. After this, we had a big break before we would get into our main event of the night. There was a video package with Drew. Obviously, this is setting him up to be the next challenger for Roman Reigns. Expect them to work a full program probably until SummerSlam, maybe longer. They reminded us of Hell in the Cell again. They reminded us of the video replay of the night. I Quit champion. The new champion, Ronda Rousey. Caleb Braxton came up with an update on Flair, confirmed that Flair had a suffered fraction of the radius, which is in the forearm, is made of 2 bones, and now Flair has basically broken an arm. Ronda did what she said she was going to do, and then, of course, we had a big video package, another 10-minute video package, to help set us up for the main event of the night, which was a 6-man tag team match between Roman Reigns, the Usos, Drew McIntyre, and RK Bro, or as Michael Cole would call them, RK McBro. This match, I ended up giving it a 3-star because I guess the Tribal Chief decided to finally grace us with his presence. He kept fucking around. He didn't want to get in the ring. He tagged in. He tagged out. He was messing around. From what I saw, Riddle took 80% of the abuse in this match. 80% of the bumps, the shots, the everything. Drew McIntyre got a couple of spots off. Orton got off a few RKOs. Nothing crazy. There was a Claymore countered by a super kick followed by a double super kick. Riddle had a laid-back kick that he completely missed. I don't know if you noticed that one. He had like this kick that he just completely missed. There was a nice suplex followed by a good running bomb into a senton. There was a running knee that was nice. Somebody kicked out of the floating bro. The only good thing I can say about Riddle is when he gets his chance to go, he gets off a lot of moves in a short period of time. So he looks pretty good. But it was funny today. I was looking at Billy Starr, Billy Superstar Graham, on his Facebook page. He was making fun of Riddle, saying that Riddle has ladies' legs and that he should wear a little gold locket on his ankle.
Legend.
I thought that was funny. Basically, after that, Riddle RKO was countered by a very nice pop-up neck breaker by Jey Uso. That was a nice spot. Roman hit the Superman punch to Orton. Drew sends Reigns into the steel steps. Drew clears the announce table, and then Reigns sends Drew flying through the table, followed by some high spots from the Usos and Riddle flying in and out of the ring. Nothing crazy. Riddle and main event Jay put up a pretty good series in the ring. There was a nice knee to the face and a super kick that actually looked sick for once. It looked like, they actually were really trying to sell that super kick well. Like a cat, Riddle climbed the top rope, hit a beautiful RKO from the top rope, followed by a huge spear from the tribal chief. And I called it. I said the Bloodline would win this because that's what they do. They win. And the Bloodline did win. 3 stars. Nothing incredible. Fun match. It picked up at the end. It didn't go on too long. And then, of course, we're left with a question, which I'm going to give to Jay right now. Jay, what did you rate the match? What was your favorite part of the match? And do you believe that the Bloodline's the greatest faction ever?
I'm going to rate this the same. 3 stars. I was actually surprised. I don't like 6-man tags. I don't like 8-man tags, etc. There was some nice spots, as you mentioned. Roman did that nice Muyanagi on Riddle.
Yeah.
That was a great spot.
Yeah, that was nice.
I enjoyed the taunting by Roman Reigns. I enjoyed when he came in and walked around the ring with Drew in the middle, and then he just tagged in Jay. I enjoyed that. And I also enjoyed it when he came in the second time. I enjoyed him when they faced off and gave each other strikes just back and forth nonstop, Drew getting the best of it. I enjoyed all of that. I enjoyed a little bit. I was very surprised at the Randy chants from the beginning to the end. Very surprised Rhode Island was a big Randy Orton. I thought Drew would get most of it. That was kind of surprising to me, which is great. Well deserved. Got big pop. I like when Roman was running into that spear to try to get Orton, but he RKO him. That was really quick. That was a really great spot. Then he RKO'd Jay, Riddle RKO Jimmy. It was just overall very entertaining. Another entertaining match. What can I say? I'm gonna give it a 3. What I enjoyed in the match, there wasn't really anything I enjoyed. I would just say Roman and Drew kind of facing one-on-one. That's kind of what I enjoyed throughout the match. Overall, it was just a bunch of spots. Some landed, some missed, some hesitation on some of the guys, which is understandable. It's a 6-man. You're not going to get it right. Overall, it was very entertaining. I'm going to give it a 3. And I was very surprised at the outcome. I really thought Roman Reigns would lose. Let it be fact that it's just a tag match. So for once, the good guys would get it. But unfortunately, that didn't happen here. So that just caught me off guard. And if they're the greatest faction, absolutely not. That's just a big understatement. The greatest faction to me, which I gotta say, even though we had these bogus pay-per-view proving who was the best, which, the Shield, I always thought it was Evolution to me. That was the greatest faction. With that being said, overall 3, it wasn't a bad match at all.
No, it was a fun match. It was entertaining, like you said. Overall, it did its job. It delivered at the end. I liked the way the match ended, so that's why I gave it a 3 star as well. I gave the whole show a 4 star because honestly, we witnessed a classic between Flair and Ronda. Seth and Cody was great. It delivered. The pay-per-view overall was way better than I expected it to be. I had more fun tonight than I thought I would. As far as I think, the greatest faction of all time is probably the New World Order. So, yeah, I don't agree with Michael calling the Bloodline the greatest faction. You think Evolution, I think NWO. There's a lot of good factions.
You can't say like NWO, WWE, right?
No, we're talking about NWO, like their original run. That first year.
I always thought it was Evolution because everybody came out of stars. So.
Evolution's up there. No, Evolution's definitely up
stars.
there. The reason I was never big on Evolution because I didn't like Batista. I didn't like him then.
It's a star, man.
I like him now, but I only like him because of Guardians of the Galaxy, not because of his wrestling. Not because of his wrestling.
I always liked him when he was champion on SmackDown. He was the reason why I was actually watching.
He had some good matches.
Channel 9.
Back in the day, he had some good matches. Him and Undertaker used to put on some classics.
But he was one of the reasons he held down SmackDown when he was champion.
He didn't have a choice. There's nobody else there.
But it was where I would tune in. That's what I'm saying. As a fan, I would tune in.
You were loving Batista?
I think everybody was, man. He was the animal.
You're the animal. Batista had a good run, that's for sure. It was funny when he quit on live TV. That was funny. I quit. I'm out of here. Like, pretty sure that was real.
Hey.
So,
definitely.
I heard you yesterday talking about this other promotion. It's kind of famous, I guess. Some people know about it. Impact. You might have heard of Impact. They had a pay-per-view called Under Siege.
My favorite.
And you want to give us some of the highlights from there before we go out for the night?
Well, nothing big. Josh Alexander, had that car crash, and then he basically came and actually fought. I got to give him props for that. You could catch the video on YouTube. Crazy. He fought Ishii. We've seen Ishii fight Adam Cole in AEW. It's like 46 years old. It's just going to be a bunch of chops and strong style moves.
Yeah.
Nothing big there, but Alexander kind of made it more into a grapple submission move, so it was pretty cool. He was doing a lot of that ankle locks and everything. He got the win. Well expected. And that was pretty much the main event. I enjoyed the match with Ace Austin and Trey Miguel. They kind of killed it in the X Division match. Ace Austin retained. That match was crazy. I thought it was probably one of the craziest matches I've seen throughout the whole week, to be honest with you. It was just very entertaining, very nice high spots. It was just overall a great wrestling match that was pretty unique, It was a spot that this guy, Ace Austin, did a one-hand plant onto the ring post and then did it following up with a sliding kick. I haven't seen that before. That's something really crazy and creative. So definitely enjoyed that match. I saw my girl Diana Perazzo, the virtuosa, fighting Taya, Valkyrie. But Valkyrie got the victory. She's the champion. This was the rematch. Perazzo lost the first one. She lost the second one, but it was very entertaining overall. I believe it's Mia Yim. Mia Yim, who's Keith Lee's spouse, she made her debut. She was in NXT. Now she made her debut back. She's back with an Impact. So I thought that was pretty cool. That's just the storyline with Perazzo and Mia Yim. So I like to see where that goes. They should have a good banging match. Overall, it was pretty good. It wasn't bad. They delivered. Good brothers fought. They lost, but it delivered. Nice good matches there. Overall, TNA wasn't a bad pay-per-view. I was actually really, really enjoyed. Give it like a 3.
I feel really bad for the Big Cass, man. Big Cass over there, man. Fighting on AEW one night in front of thousands of people, and then in front of 75 people a couple of days later. That's rough.
There's a rumor now that WWE is interested. So
yeah.
It's obvious. The guy's improved. He cleaned up his act. You got to give it to him, man. He's well deserved. So
he's a certified G and a certified stud, 7-foot giant.
Got to drop that, man. I think he should just move with what he's doing now.
But you can't teach that. Listen, there's some things you just can't get away from sometimes. Like George Costanza. Do you think Jason Alexander can walk down the street without people calling him George? Come on now, man.
I could picture him in other roles, like, from William Morrissey.
You can.
He had great mentions.
Maybe you can, but there's hundreds of other people that can't. That's the problem.
Then they're not opening their eyes, man. They're stuck.
Who's opening their eyes? Everybody's sleeping, man.
He had great matches with Moose. If you see Morrissey versus Moose, Morrissey with Moose, everybody should watch that match.
You know what everybody should do?
Morrissey versus Moose.
You know what everybody should actually do, Jay? Everybody should follow us on YouTube. They should follow us on Twitch, on Instagram, on TikTok. Do you want them to follow you anywhere, Jay?
Follow me all over Jay. That's JAYY. I'm on IG, Facebook, so you can follow me. And another thing is, my top 10 might change. I might actually put Moose up there soon.
Well, I was actually going to talk to you about the top 10. I was thinking, What would you think if we made a 2 top 10 list? You have a top 10 men's and a top 10 women's. You know, so we have respect for both sexes in this show. We show the top 10. Nah? Why is that?
I don't have a. They all. No.
If you had to do a top 5 women in the world right now, who is it? How about top 5? I feel like you could do a top 5.
No top 5 for me.
Come on, man. You want me to give you my top 5?
There's only Flair, Virtuosa, and Britt. That's it. There's nothing else.
How about Asuka? You don't like Asuka?
Can't even talk English, man.
That's fucked
Can't even
up.
understand her.
That's
it's not. You see it every
fucked
week. I don't even know what she's saying. I don't know what that means, man. I don't know.
Is it weird? Is it weird that I want to see Shinsuke Nakamura and Asuka hook up?
I'll tell you this. Nakamura speaks better English than Asuka. And Asuka's been more in the States than Nakamura.
Oh, yeah. Nakamura...
Look at that. Look at that.
Nakamura's been, around way longer, bro.
But what does that tell you? That tells you that Nakamura's been improving while the other one hasn't and been in the States longer. Asuka got signed before. Nakamura came after, and he was in NXT.
Oh, maybe Nakamura is more interested in doing that. Maybe it doesn't serve Asuka's lifestyle, but I don't know. I like them both as wrestlers. They're both still good. I would love to see Shinsuke get a world title run at some point.
I thought it was going to happen, and when they did that WrestleMania, let's turn him heel, I said that moment, I said, it's over.
Isn't it fucking crazy that he won the Royal Rumble and still hasn't had a championship?
McMahon is not impressed. Maybe he didn't like when he dropped Cena.
When was the last time...
Dude, got crapped on.
When was the last time that happened? I think the last time that happened was when... what's his name, man? Hacksaw Jim Duggan won the Royal Rumble, and it led to nothing. He didn't get no title. He didn't get no push. He just won the first Royal Rumble. So, like, for him to win the Rumble and then not even get a title run out of it, I guess he got the IC title run, but who cares? That title sucks. He didn't even defend it. He defended it like 4 times in the whole year.
Right.
Which is crazy.
But overall was a good pick. It wasn't bad.
It was a good wrestling night. It was a good wrestling night.
3-star, and that's all I had to say about it.
Hopefully tomorrow we get to see Edge's storyline take a little... hopefully it opens up with Edge tomorrow.
Should be interesting tomorrow.
Let's call it right now. What do you think is going to open up Raw tomorrow? I think it's going to be Edge and Judgment Day.
I'm not sure. The last few weeks has always been Arcade Bro. I wouldn't be surprised if they do it again. I honestly don't know. It's always been like that for the last 3-4 weeks we've seen, whether it's Raw or SmackDown.
All right, so before we close out the show for the night, what was your moment of the night for the night?
Moment of the night? Let's see here. Moment of the night.
Just like the moment that's going to stick out to you like 10 years from now.
Okay, the moment that's going to stick out to me was AJ Styles versus Edge when AJ did a horrible step-up knee to Edge on the turnbuckle.
So your memorable moment of the night is going to be a horrible moment. Okay.
It was. I actually circled it.
For me, my memorable moment of the night will be witnessing what I thought was an instant classic between Ronda and Charlotte Flair, and being a little shocked, actually, at Flair losing. I didn't think she was going to lose, and not only did she lose, she quit. And that's it, folks. We're quitting too. We're tired. We got work to do. I'm sure we'll be back tomorrow night for Monday Night Raw. You guys all out there in La La Land, have a good night. Again, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Make sure you enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll see you on Monday Night Raw. Jay, thank you for joining us here on Wrestling with Savage. Later, guys. Have a good night.